Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. So today we're going to be looking at set number 75366, LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. This set includes 320 pieces, retailing for the scary price of $44.99 when it released on September 1st of 2023. Now, of course, I didn't get it at that price. I got this actually at my local Costco around the time that they started selling them there. I think it was the $35 price that you'd see for the unlicensed Advent calendars, which I don't really mind paying that price for these, though I think since that time it has gone down even further at other retailers. Same goes for a lot of the other Advent calendars. But looking at the box art design, logo from the top, total of 24 different gifts spread across 24 days counting down to Christmas. Get your regular information off the side, and a bit of a Endor theme just to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Endor Bunker. Oh my gosh, why isn't that a new set for this year? I really just wonder what they were thinking when it came to some of their choices for this anniversary. Same for the Clone Wars. We do get some Clone Wars representation in here, I guess that's nice. And another thing I just wanted to say is something really funny is Order 66. From the back side, you can take a look at our layout, which we'll take a better look at momentarily, as well as just some of the other builds. Quick warning, there will be spoilers as to the contents of this thing, so if you don't want to know what's inside this Advent calendar, please leave now. I have plenty of other fun videos that you can be watching instead. Cutting the tape, you can reveal the platform where you can place all your different builds. Of course, as this having just been opened, it's going to be floating up a little bit. Once you start placing objects on top of it, it'll flatten out. Looking at the days, they're all spread out in a random order. Day number 1 being over here. Let's open it up. Who would have guessed our first minifigure, Omega. To kick off our minifigure selection from the Bad Batch TV show, only previously appearing in an expensive $160 set, we have Omega. Torso print, brand new as of that set, even featuring arm prints, which is just really amazing for this figure to be included within an Advent calendar. You get that double-sided facial expression, one with a slight smirk, and from the other side, a bit more of an cheeky, concerned look. You also get the Harry Potter hairpiece recolored in that tan color, which isn't too bad of a piece to get. Spinning her around, you can also see that some of the prints on the arms are kind of scraped off a little bit, which is one thing to be slightly concerned about when it comes to your copy of this figure. Of course, if you're not 100% satisfied, you can always contact LEGO and get a replacement, though I already have one from my Justifier, so probably will end up selling this one on the aftermarket at some point. Getting the other short character out of the way, we have a brand new Ewok minifigure decked out in some festive holiday cheer. We get this green cloth over the head, which also has printing from the very front for that little Christmas tree and some snow, which I think is really adorable. This full white colored Ewok with the light gray hands. Love this figure. Really amazing to get this within the Advent calendar, and even though it doesn't really make up for us not getting Ewoks at all to celebrate 40 years of Return of the Jedi this year, that's just really all I have to say about it. Really amazing to get this, but still disappointing that we didn't get anything else Ewok related for 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. Exclusive to this set, only because she isn't wearing the helmet that she has in the diorama, we have Princess Leia. We get the brand new prints for the legs, as well as the torso, front, and back that we saw within the speeder bike diorama. Facial expression will be that same one that was introduced way back when for her character, one with a smirk from the front. And then from the back side, a bit of a evil smirk, or at least that's the way I see it. Though it is really great to get her hairpiece in the set, unlike in the diorama where you only get the helmet. And I do have to point out her accessories, one being a short gun, and then the other one being a little cookie that you can give to your little Ewok friend. Finishing off the minifigures from Return of the Jedi and our other exclusive holiday minifigure, we have Emperor Palpatine sporting this really nice ugly sweater with a Death Star front and center. I really love that print front and back. It's as if he threw it over his regular robes. I say this because you see the plain black legs there, or actually the printed legs with the rest of his robes. Additionally, you get the modern hood piece, which is really great to get for his figure, as well as a double-sided facial expression which was introduced within the diorama this year, one with a calm look, and then the other one with a more angry scowl, which works a lot better when it comes to his accessories, where you get this very nice force lightning, and you also get it for if the cocoa's a little too hot. One of two minifigures celebrating 20 years of Clone Wars, we have a Phase 2 212th Trooper, which is the same exact one that we got within the ATTE back in 2022, so it will have the helmet holes that nobody's a fan of, apparently. Honestly, don't really care about helmet holes. Really, the bigger issue when it comes to this guy is just as far as printing goes, it's not as accurate as it could be. Underneath the helmet, you'll find that same facial expression introduced within the 2020 501st Battle Pack for the clones with that darker flesh tone. And you also get this very nice long gun, which has the candle piece at the very end. Not a bad figure to get, great for army building. It's just some fans may not like it because of the helmet holes, but honestly really happy to add another one of these to my collection, as LEGO has yet to release a cheaper set with them. And the last minifigure celebrating 20 years of Clone Wars, what do you know, it's another regular battle droid. Same design as we've been getting since 2007, one straight arm for the gun and one curved arm, and all those different clip piece connections stud from the very back, so then you can move around the parts of the body as you see fit. Some people may not consider these as part of the minifigure selection, but I'm gonna show them as if they are. We have a festive pit droid, which is decked out in some red and white, and you also get your classic light gray, dark gray, black, and just the blue for the eye there. Get a little sack as if this is the Santa of this set, because we haven't been getting Santas in these LEGO Star Wars Advent calendars for quite some time, but I guess that the pit droid might be Santa, and then our next character will be the reindeer that goes with, and we also have the sled that you can just throw them in if you want to. We'll show that build in just a minute as well. Gonking all the way from the North Pole, we have our Gonk droid reindeer, and this I think is no doubt one of the best things included in this Advent calendar. I love it so much. The only thing that I have to say is that I wish that these antlers were in the tan color and not the dark tan color. That's just really my only complaint. Otherwise, I think this is perfect. I love that we get the little nose, even though I wish it was red for Rudolph, just to make him extra special. And we even get a tail, which was really surprising to me. And even better, from the very top, we happen to get some studs, in case you want to sit any of your minifigures on top of him. Order 66, am I right? With our minifigure selection out of the way, it's time to take a look at all the little mini builds and some of the accessories included for our minifigures. Going in order by representation, from The Mandalorian, our sole representation from that show, we have the Mandalorians and one Starfighter, which I think is a really great mini build, probably one of the better mini builds within this set. Really love how they made it, especially when it comes to the cockpit design, and just a lot of the angles I think are just really, really well done on this build. Next, from the Bad Batch, we have the Justifier, which is the set that you actually get that Omega minifigure in. Really interesting to see it in a smaller scale. Still looks really ugly, and you also get that feature which you can move this up and down for like the flight and the not flight mode for this particular ship. Still not sure how I feel about this one. Meh. Speaking of Omega, we might as well talk about the build that she comes with, which is this small little sleigh where you get some studded area to stand a minifigure right there on the sleigh. Works very nice and easily, and of course you can have it go along, push it around on your surface. Do whatever you want with it. One of two builds that your minifigures can use from Return of the Jedi include this plain black and also dark gray chair. That's for our minifigure of Emperor Palpatine. You can sit him down on the studded area. You also can adjust the very back of it with that clip piece connection if it's not back far enough. Not as detailed as the one that you get in the diorama, but still something to go along with your character. The other minifigure accessory for Return of the Jedi is this Ewok flyer, which honestly is just kind of weird. It's probably one of the things that I was most confused about as far as just how am I supposed to connect this to our minifigure. And then I finally figured out that it's supposed to go like this, and then you just connect the hands from the bottom over here. It's just rather confusing, especially if you're looking back and forth at the instructions. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. On to the mini builds. Probably the one that I'm most disappointed in is the Ewok village, which I think we've actually gotten one of these in an advent calendar before. It's just I'm not a fan with how this turned out. It's just a bunch of random pieces that are just gonna end up in my bulk bin at the end of the day. I mean, I guess it's nice that they are representing the interiors with these little holes here, but again, it's just, this is ugly, I don't like it. More builds to set the scene. We have the satellite dish or radar dish, which I really like getting this lightsaber handle piece in that dark gray color, the longer one, which was introduced in the Monkey Kid theme. You can adjust this using the clip piece connection if you want. And you also get a little base for it, as well as these cone pieces to represent some trees on the forest moon of Endor. Additionally, we get representation for the Endor bunker, which I believe there is a piece that's missing on mine. There's supposed to be a 1x1 plate piece on one of these jumper plates. I'm not 100% sure, it's just when I built it, this is what I built. It looks like the Endor bunker, the facade of it. It's nothing special, just more pieces that are going to end up in my bulk bin. The ATST is a disgrace, to say the least. I even think that they made one of these last year, and I said it was probably one of my favorite builds of the set, and it's just, this is a terrible downgrade. I don't like what's happening with the legs more specifically than anything else. The head is alright, it's just, I don't like how this looks. It could have been better. One of my favorite ships from the Star Wars universe, we have the Imperial Shuttle. You get the clip piece connections for the wings, so you can have it in that flight mode, or you can have it in the landing position when you have them both up. Little guns. You also have the little head of the ship, which is connected using clip piece connection. Very nicely done. Also the engines from the very back with that translucent blue. I was really surprised by this one. We have this small little Star Destroyer, which I think is a really adorable build of this particular ship. I really like how they did it. It's small, but it gets the job done. To go along with your minifigure of Leia, even though she can't actually ride this unless you just put one of her legs on that stud over there, we have this mini speeder bike, which I think is actually a pretty good build, probably one of the better builds in this set. And you get the little handlebars. Really well done. Very happy with this one. Moving on to the Clone Wars, we have the builds for our minifigures, the first of which being this STAP design, which I think is really interesting. Really love getting the older style guns. Fake guns and no stud guns, which also really surprised me that we didn't get any stud guns or any of that within this particular advent calendar. Typically they love to put those in here, but we didn't get any. We get a platform just to make sure that it stands up, and you get the clip piece connections in order to put at least one of the hands of your battle droid. Normally they'd have both of the curved arms to go on one of these. You'll see that within the 2024 battle pack. But here we actually get the straight gun, just so then you can also shoot from the very top of it if you want to. And to go along with our clone minifigure, we get this little battle station, this command post, where you get that dark red for the Republic. You also get this top part, and you also get these sides, which you can also fully enclose if you want to, or you can leave them down. Very much smaller than the one that we got within the minifigure pack back in 2021, I think it was at this point. Get the studded room in case you want to place a minifigure in here. You can place them there, or I think it's even better if you just place them towards the back over there. And of course, plenty of room to have your character with their gun to face off that battle droid. And finally, we have the 3 mini builds based off the Clone Wars, starting off with the Hellfire droid. This I think is really nice. Love how they did it, clip piece connection just for like the wheels off to the side. You get your guns, you get your big turrets from the very top. Very, very well done. Mixing in something from the Republic, we have this tiny, tiny little clone turbo tank. This is a set that I am really surprised that we haven't got a brand new one of yet. Maybe next year in 2024. We'll have to wait and see. Get all of these stamp pieces to represent the wheels, get your gun from the backside, and just the general design works very well. And then finally we have what is probably my favorite of the Clone Wars builds, this teeny tiny AAT. You get the turret up at the very top, which you can move side to side. You also have the turrets from the sides, which you can move up and down. And you also get the little engine from the very back side. Really, really cute, and you also get that full dark blue color scheme for the Trade Federation, that Clone Wars classic dark blue color scheme, unlike the tan that we're going to see next year for, say, the polybag and whatever else if we get anything else. So overall, for $45 in the US, I don't think you should be paying that price. You should be paying at least $30 or maybe even lower than that for this set. Yes, you get some exclusive minifigures that are festive and some minifigures that are in some more expensive sets, but I don't think, as far as just the value goes when it comes to the builds, it's not worth it. A lot of these pieces are definitely going to end up in your bulk bin when it comes to these mini builds. Even the builds that you can associate with your characters aren't strong enough to just stand alone within my collection. That's just all I have to say there. As far as representation goes across all of Star Wars, I do really like that they are referencing the anniversaries for both Return of the Jedi and the Clone Wars. Of course, a little bit stronger on the Return of the Jedi side. I don't mind that. It's really great to see all of these things that I just think could have been sets to celebrate these anniversaries, but didn't actually release. Again, if you plan on getting this at all, please get it on discount because it's just not worth $45, and I really do hope that one day LEGO does realize that $45 is just still too much for an advent calendar set. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!